Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is James McCool. I'm the owner of PaydirtDFS.com. You can find me on Twitter at Paydirt_DFS. And today we're going to be doing a recap video. We're going to be talking about 2022 for Paydirt. We're going to be talking about all the different improvements and enhancements that we've made, the goals that we've achieved, and then we're going to be talking about the things that we want to work on for 2023 as well, and look kind of forward into the next year of content and production and the Paydirt brand overall. It's going to be pretty laid back, but just want to go over some things about why we have been doing the things that we've been doing and what we plan to accomplish in 2023, the changes that you can expect, the changes that you can be prepared for and be excited for, and the continued improvements. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. 2022 was a great year for Paydirt. We had a lot of success here overall for subscribers. I myself had quite a bit of success as well in DFS and in the betting streets. There have been a lot of improvements and enhancements made to the site and to the content offerings overall. And I think overall, it's been a really, really good year for Paydirt. And I hope that everybody would agree with that as well. I do just want to say really quick before we super get into it, thank you so much for all of the support that you guys have given me. And the Paydirt brand overall, and all the continued support that I hope that we continue to have, and all of the continued success that we can all have together as a community. One of the things that I'm proud of every single day is the community that has been built, and the group that we have put together at Paydirt and at the Paydirt community as well. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate all of you, and I hope you always know that. 2022 was a year where we mostly focused on engagement and site traffic. So one of the goals that I wanted to put together was really pushing to provide reasons for people to go visit the site, whether they were subscribers or not. I had been against free content for certain reasons in the past, but decided that this year it was really important for me to continue to grow the traffic and put things together for people to go use regardless of whether they were subscribing or not. So things like the free membership that was added later on in the year, that went really, really well, even if I'm working out some bugs because I didn't implement it correctly, but whatever, web development sucks. But the free membership was awesome. Another thing that we added on was a lot of free research sheets. So people who were not subscribers or that were subscribers could go and look at the different research things for baseball, NFL, and soon to be NHL, right? Being able to look at like running back or receiver research over the course of the year based on week by week basis, being look at pitcher statistics, whether it be the true average report or the binomial statistics report, or any of the other research things, the splits research sheets, stuff like that. Being able to provide that stuff was really, really good. Being able to provide some free models as well, things that could let you make decisions even without projections in front of you for DFS or for betting. So putting out free models and free research stuff was something that worked really, really well and that I was really happy to be able to do. And then the other thing, obviously, was free content, free articles and free videos. That has been something that I really pushed for as well, starting in baseball season with the true average report, and then moving on into NBA, where now we have the NBA Triple Threat, which is written by two community members as well, who I hired to write articles for me, and we'll get into more of that in 2023. But having hired writers has been really, really cool too. So a lot of different free content, a lot of different free models, free research sheets, stuff like that. Reasons to continue coming back to the site, even if you weren't sold on a subscription yet. The other main thing that we worked on to increase activity was opening up the Discord for free. So earlier on in the year, and last year specifically, the Discord was only available to subscription members. And then we decided to open it up for free to the world, to the internet, and that has been really awesome. So earlier on in the year, I think it was at about 180, maybe 185 people in the Discord. It was pretty small. But then after we opened up for free, now at this point, it's up to 850 members or so, which is great. That's like a 6x growth, which is radical. And I hope that everybody finds that fruitful and finds it to be somewhere that they enjoy to be. The Paydirt community, like I have said, is one of the things that I am most proud of that I have ever built. And I appreciate you guys for following the single rule that I have of don't be a dick. We have only had a couple instances where I've had to ban people, and I think that overall it's a community in this industry that accomplishes what a lot of people are looking for when it comes to a place to learn and a place to grow and a place to kind of achieve their goals. So all of those things have been awesome, but the hard numbers on it have been even cooler, right? So I'm going to show you the site views overall. Now, this is the weekly look at the site views for the site. All right, so I started my push for engagement in just about May to June. So this is kind of the cutoff where we were averaging somewhere between like 3,500 and 4,500 site views per week. And then we get into NFL season and we really start seeing a really big boost here. And there's a couple reasons for that I'll get into for 2023, but know that it has been a really, really nice improvement, right? We're averaging now somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000 site views per week. These last 3 weeks, obviously with Christmas and everything like that, have been lesser, but that's okay. Then the really, really impressive one is when we look at the monthly. So this month, we're looking at about 21,000 views so far. It's going to end around 21.5 or something like that for the year, which is awesome. This time last year in December, we had a total of 3,000 views on the site. In November, we only had 2,800, right? So we were averaging somewhere between 2,800 and 3,800 up through December. And then we move up here and we're starting to get a little bit more, right? Like we're moving up into the 4,000, 5,000 views mark here. But then it's a huge jump when we started on the engagement. And when we really started trying to market things and put out some more free content. 14,000, 17,000, 17,000. And then NFL season started and we hit a peak of 29,000. So October was the best month that Paydirt has ever had by a significant long shot. 29,000 site views that month. Just terrific stuff. So again, thank you so much for finding the stuff that I put together useful and actionable and worth looking at. Again, this is awesome. So this proves that what we have been trying to do has been working and has been useful and fruitful, and I'm really, really happy about that. I think that the goal has certainly been achieved to try to improve engagement and site traffic overall on the site. But all of that is fine and dandy. The other thing that I have really wanted to focus on is making the site look better. So, again, I'm not a web developer. I'm a modeler. I like modeling. I like putting together models. I like doing statistics. I like putting together algorithms. That's what I like doing. So I haven't really focused that much on the look of the site, but over the last month or so, I have really, really been trying to reformat things in a way that looks more cleaned up, looks more legitimate, and looks the way that people would expect a site based on statistics and data to look. So before, and over the last year or so, since the beginning of Paydirt, actually, I've had Excel embeds, right, that look like this. And they're color-coded, and they look nice. I mean, this looks fine. This looks okay. But it looks like an Excel embed. And when people would come to the site who were not subscribers and didn't know me and didn't know that they were strong models, if you look at this as somebody who is kind of newer or an intermediate player that thinks that they need a little bit more than this is not attractive to you. It's not something that really sells the product well, and it's not something that makes you want to go get a subscription to it, right? Because this is just something to look at. You can't really do much with this, and it doesn't feel buttoned up, doesn't feel tied up. So what I've been doing is I've been reformatting everything into a much better table format, and these are real HTML tables that are built onto the site. They are not just iframed in. These are real tables on the site. So this looks much more legitimate, it looks much more cleaned up, and it looks like something that you would expect from a site like this, and a site like mine and Paydirt. It's something that I have been putting a lot of effort into and improving, and I'm going to continue to improve. And there's a couple reasons why, right? So in this format, I'm pretty limited to what Excel can do and to the bounds of what OneDrive Excel embeds can hold. So I ran into a lot of data issues to where I couldn't really put things together the way that I thought would be best to put them together. Because I was limited by the amount of data that I could put into an Excel embed. Whereas with stuff like this, I have a lot more freedom. I have a lot more range. These tables can be massive. They can hold a lot more data, and I can manipulate them a lot easier. So point number one of doing this is that I can do things like in the new NFL stacks table. In the old one, it was only the number one stack. So we'll go back and show what I mean. So it was only like this top Atlanta stack, and then this top Kansas City stack, and then this top Jacksonville stack, right? It was only the top overall stack for the team. And that was because the Excel embeds, I could only hold so much data. But now I have 3 different permutations of stacks for every single team that are held in this table. So if you just wanted to look at Atlanta stacks and say, okay, well, what are the different combinations and how much do they project for, etc. Like this, you can look at all of them. You can say, well, I know that I want to stack Jacksonville, but what's the stack that has the lowest ownership, or what's the stack that has the highest projection, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can do things like that. And that's just really powerful. I think that's something that is very, very helpful in process and can help a lot of people make really, really good decisions. So that was one of the big reasons why, is because it allows me to make models that I think are more powerful and more useful. The other big thing here is, I'm not sure if you've ever tried to use one of the Excel tables on mobile, on your phone. Doesn't work that great. Overall, it just feels clunky, and it just has a lot of limitations. With these new tables, when you make it smaller, when you put it on a mobile phone, it's much easier to use, and I can keep it in a way that makes a lot more sense, and it's a lot more intuitive, and it's easier to use on mobile. So that was a really important thing for me as well. It's just making the experience that much better for everybody. So those have been some improvements that I've wanted to make, and that I think people have had some mixed reactions to. There's some functionality that's not there from the Excel embeds, just because porting it over does not quite work in this current form. But we're going to get into the 2023 goals, and we'll talk a little bit more about the things that I have in store. So let's go ahead and move on to that. 2022 was all about engagement and improving site traffic and improving the organic search content and everything like that, trying to just make it so that the site is easier to be found. And making it so that when you find it, you have things to do there. 2023 is going to be all about application development. So the main thing every single time that people say that they want me to build is an optimizer for the site. And I get it. I built an optimizer for NBA last year, I think it was 2021 season. That was good. It was fine, but it was built in Shiny. And I'm not a huge fan of Shiny apps. After working with them, I think that R is okay, but Python is just a million times better. And R feels clunky. Shiny apps feel a little bit clunky. The hosting for it was kind of a shit show. Overall, just not something that I was in love with. So this year, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on application development and making tools that I'm proud of and that I think are really worth buying into here at Paydirt and really do a good job for subscribers. So by MLB season, there will be an optimizer. The MLB product this year will have an optimizer, and all of the traditional sports at the very least will have an optimizer built into them. Hopefully I can get up optimizers for the esports before the MLB season, but do know that there is going to be an optimizer built for each of the traditional sports at the very least. That is NBA, NHL, and NFL, and MLB. All 4 of those sports at the very least will have an optimizer. On top of that, there are other things that I want to do with application development. I want to build out simulation programs so that you can simulate games. I want to build out lineup simulation products so that you can simulate lineups. I want to build out a lot of different things that allow you to do things with your content and with your portfolios that I do with mine and that I know that a lot of the top players do with theirs. I really, really want to focus on building out these things where you can upload either your lineups or portfolio or players or projections or something and do something cool with them. So there's going to be a lot of that in 2023. And being able to do that comes with freeing myself up to be able to do it, right? And that is the other part of 2023 is going to be hiring more writers and hiring more people to run some content, right? Being able to have writers for NBA and MMA has been great. I think those guys have been awesome, and I would like to continue to expand that into the other major sports. I want to have a writer for NHL, I want to have a writer for NFL, I want to have a writer for MLB, and I want to have a writer for NBA. The 4 major sports. Again, I want to have at least one writer for each one. I want to have a daily article for each one. I also want to have long-form content. I want to have some esports content. Like, I really want to expand the amount of content that we have for every single sport. So 2023, while the focus is going to be on application development, the goal is going to be on expanded content development overall, so that you can continue to have more and more offered over at Paydirt and more on the site for the price that you pay. And that moves into the last point of an increase in the subscription price. Now, I don't know what the increase of the subscription price is going to be exactly yet. I still need to run numbers. But when we're talking about putting together all these different things, application development, server hosting, writers added on, content creation, everything like that, it comes to a cost. So right now, currently, Paydirt brings in about $7,200 a month or so, around $7,000. That's how much I make personally, and I don't mind being transparent about that. I pay out somewhere around $850 per month right now in writing to NBA and MMA. So if I want to expand those offerings, and if I want to get people to run models for me so I can focus more on application development to continue to improve the site, I need to make a little bit more money from the site in order to continue to offer those things. So say that I were to just double the efforts in terms of content creation. We'll jump that up to $1,500 per month or something that I'm paying out. And then if I wanted to bring on somebody to, say, run hockey models or something like that, I would be paying out another, say, $500 a month, something like that. So the overall costs of doing that kind of stuff, I think, is going to come out to around $2,000 a month. It might be a little bit more once I add in hosting and stuff like that for application development. So the increase in price needs to cover the costs of those things, or at the very least come close to covering it. So right now it's $30 a month, and that's bringing in around $7,000 a month. So that is, I think, 233 subscribers to the site. If I could grow that to 300 subscribers to the site, then I wouldn't need to raise the price at all. But I think that the easiest way to do it is probably put it at like either $35 or $40 a month so that we can increase that bottom line a little bit more. If it were $5 a month added on and made it $35 per month, then we jump that up to about $8,000 a month, and then that covers another $1,000. If we put it at $10 per month, then we bring it up another $2,000, which would cover the entire cost of everything. So expect a price increase up to somewhere between $35 to $40 per month. It is still going to be all-inclusive of every single sport. I may make some individual sport-specific prices, but it's always going to be a better deal to just get the inclusive package. So expect that to happen with the baseball launch. It's not something that I want to do right away, but when baseball comes out, we have an optimizer for it. I think that that will be plenty justified for the price increase that we're going to see. It's going to be small, it's going to be minimal, and I think that you guys are going to continue to get a lot of value out of the site. So that has been a recap and a look forward. As always, thank you so much for the support and for allowing me to make this my job. I truly am a lucky guy to be able to do it and be able to support my family doing things that I love. Again, I'm always listening to feedback. I'm always listening to ideas. I'm always listening to things that can make the site better and improve the content and the process for everybody. Like I said, I'm a man of the people. All I want to do is make sure that you guys have the tools that you need to be able to do the things that you want to do with DFS, whatever your goal is. If your goal is to have a secondary income, if your goal is to have just shit to do, if your goal is to make beer money, if your goal is just get a sweat when you're going to the Heat game, like whatever. I want to make content that makes you feel like you are able to do things that you want to do in DFS and betting. So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, etc., you can reach out to me on Twitter at Paydirt_DFS. If you want to join the Discord, like I said, it's free to use. I post a lot of different stuff. There's always a lot of really good conversation. I truly believe it's the best community in the entire industry. That is free to use. You can find the link over at paydirtdfs.com. And here is to more sustained success, trophies, loaves to be made in 2023, and the expansion of the Paydirt brand. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you later.